Hello friends, and welcome to the Breathing Learning series. Last time we spoke about proper breathing and how to use our lungs and a diaphragm. Just to recap, in order to breathe properly, we want to try and fill our lungs with air from the bottom upwards and exhale using a diaphragm, which is the muscle between our lungs and our stomach. It is important to know that in order to do that, we want to try and restrict our air using our cheeks and our lips. So we fill our cheeks with air and we make a little gate with our mouth or our lips and try and control the way the air flows. So like this. If you want to try, we can try it one more time like we did last time. So we want to sit up and have our back straight and our shoulders back, but we want to do it relaxed, so we don't want to be tense, and breathe from the bottom up, and then using our abdominal muscles, if you still can't feel your diaphragm, breathe out. So let's do it. The thing is, if you can't feel your diaphragm, just try and use your abs or your abdominal muscles to squeeze the air out of the bottom of your lungs, so it's easier to feel it when you get going. Last time I promised you more exercises, which is exactly the theme of this video. In order to improve and learn more techniques, we want to first build our basics until we're comfortable with them. If you want a house, you first need a solid foundation, which is exactly what we are doing. We're building a safe foundation for a breathing house. So the first exercise I have for you today is called drinking tea. Sit up like we learned, have your shoulders back and relax. Now breathe in for 4 counts. Hold for 2 counts and then try and sip more air in like you're sipping tea. Breathe out, controlling your airflow as long as you can. The secret here is that if you were able to sip in more air after the first 4 counts, you were probably not using your whole lung capacity. Meaning, if your lungs were a jar, you probably did not fill it all the way up. Which is okay. It takes some time to learn this skill. Let's try this again. Sit up, have your shoulders back and relax. Breathe in for 4 counts and try and sip more air in. Breathe out, controlling your air. Good job! Did you feel the difference? Most times when we're concentrating on what we're doing, we'll get it right. Now, do this a few times a day or every other day to develop your lung capacity. So let's try a different exercise. This one is called air gate. It is about holding a piece of paper onto a wall just with the air we produce. So the piece of paper is supposed to be the same size as the one we used last time, about A3. Let's talk more about the air gate I mentioned a few minutes ago. In the wind playing world, we call it an embouchure, and that is a very long and a very weird word, so I'll try and use air gate for clarity. We create it with a mouth. With our lips specifically, we want to pinch them together and create an O-shaped hole. We want to keep our cheeks as relaxed as possible and say uh-oh, but it won't sound as uh-oh. Listen. Now, our mouth plays a role in this too, so we want to try and keep our mouth open. That means we want to try and keep our tongue on the floor of our mouth. So we create a cave with our mouth, and the gate to that cave are our lips. This is how the exercise goes. You stand close to the wall with your back straight and shoulders relaxed, and hold a piece of paper on the wall with your hands. You start to blow onto the paper and move your hands away. The goal is to keep the paper on the wall just with your breath for as long as possible. Do this a few times. Now, the reason I said to keep your tongue at the floor of your mouth is because the next bit of this exercise is about prolonging your airflow, which you need your tongue for. So you try and raise your tongue and create a little dam with it, but in between the airflow and your lips, so you don't stop the airflow, you just prolong it. So let's create the dam with our tongue and do the same exercise. Paper to the wall and let's go. Shoulders back, relax and breathe in. Now breathe out. Good job! You're doing amazing. A little disclaimer I have to repeat. When we breathe deeply like this for an extended amount of time, we tend to get dizzy and lightheaded. If that happens to you, take a 5-minute break. Sit down and breathe normally without thinking about it. And when you no longer feel dizzy, come back and do this next exercise with me. But do be careful. This last exercise is similar to the one we did last time. We lie down on the floor or a bed, but this time we support our head with a pillow. Lift your legs. You can also support them with a pillow if you want. Put one hand on your chest and one on your diaphragm. We'll breathe in the same way we always do, but breathe out the same way we did in our air glow exercise, with an air gate we made with our lips. The goal is to try and move the hand on our chest as little as possible. Let's do it together. Slowly breathe in for 4 counts. Hold for 1 and breathe out through your lips as slowly and controlled as you can. Do this a few times a day, but remember the warning: if you get dizzy, take a break. Okay, friends, thank you for joining me and practicing with me today. I'll see you next time, but until then, keep practicing.